I think this isn't, it's a disturbing thing if you're a parent or a grandparent when obviously something horrific happens to your child, like, I don't know, being murdered by their spouse, allegedly.
Allegedly.
We're talking about the Jared Bridegan case. He was the Microsoft executive who was executed on the side of the road when a man had a fake tire or a real tire sitting out there, but it was to distract him to get out to help. And the man executed him. He has since admitted the murder and said that he was a hitman for hire, and he's turning on the hitman, which allegedly turned out to happen to be the ex-wife of Jared Bridegan and her husband, Mario Fernandez. Not looking good. Not a good thing at all. But what happened here is Jared and Shanna, his ex-wife, they have 2 kids. Okay. The kids would spend half of the year with Jared and his new wife and their half siblings that he has with his new wife. And then the other half of the year, the 2 kids would be spent with Shanna, his ex, and Mario, that we now know are both accused of murdering Jared. So when Jared's dead and these kids are still out there, now mom's in prison, where do you think the kids should go? Should they go to that side of the family that has the accusations of murder against them? Or should they maybe go back to stepmom and the other siblings where they were a family half of the year together and still had love and trust and all that? Well, they ended up with the parents of Shanna Gardner-Fernandez. And that's
the
where
alleged murderers.
The alleged murderers, yes.
Parents.
And the alleged murderers' parents who say that they believe that Shanna is innocent despite, all this evidence. I can't imagine it being the healthiest of environments for reality for those children. I mean, no matter what, these kids are going to need a lot of help. But then to be in the custody of the people that are obviously the parents didn't do any killing, but I don't know that that's the best, spot for them. Yeah.
You want some stability for these kids too. Mm-hmm. So if they ever had exposure to these grandparents, to have them ripped away from them isn't a good thing either.
No. And I'm not saying that should have happened or should happen at all. But they're not letting other family members see these children. And here's the kicker, and this is where we kind of bring this up today, is it looks like they lied to the court to gain custody. When you look at
that opens a whole can of what the fuck.
So, Apple doesn't, I guess, fall far from the tree in terms of lying. This turn of events surrounding all of this is, of course, Shanna Gardner-Fernandez, the parents of Gardner-Fernandez, under a lot of scrutiny for the misleading information in the court to gain custody of their grandchildren. The case, of course, garnered significant attention considering the implications for 2 innocent children at its center. Currently, the 2 kids, Abby and Liam, the 11-year-old twins of Jared Bridegan and Gardner-Fernandez, are under the care of their maternal grandparents. Before Jared's untimely death, the exes had maintained a joint custody arrangement, which allowed the twins to live half of the year with their half-siblings, Jared's widow, Kirsten Bridegan. However, since Jared's passing, Kirsten has passionately pled for visitation, stating that the children have been kept away and isolated from us. However, the situation took a more convoluted turn when the Gardners' custody petition came under the spotlight. They submitted a petition to Benton County Superior Court in Washington State seeking full custody of the twins. The document asked specific questions about the residency of the children. One question was clear. During the past 5 years, have any of the children lived outside of Washington State? The Gardners reportedly marked no. This, however, stands in direct contrast to the fact that Gardner-Fernandez and the children moved from Florida to Washington only in December 2022, presumably to evade the public gaze due to the highly publicized murder case. The discrepancies did not end there either. The Gardners, who primarily reside in Utah, were the benefactors of the multi-million-dollar residence that became the sanctuary for Gardner-Fernandez before her arrest. Legal experts believe that the Gardners may have deliberately provided false residency information to prevent the case from being litigated in Florida, where Jared's parents happen to live. a move that could potentially backfire. Prominent matrimonial lawyer Marilyn Chicketts, known for representing Hollywood stars like Tom Cruise and Michael Douglas, weighed in on the controversy. They were talking to Fox News Digital, saying that coming to the courts and patiently lying by filing out a form with false information warrants a complete dismissal of their application. Also stating that the court will look at that petition with a really jaundiced eye. Moreover, the petition raised eyebrows when the Gardners answered no to the query, asking if they knew of anyone other than themselves and the twins' parents who had or claimed to have a legal right to spend time with the twins. We said no, they don't believe there is. This is striking, given that Kirsten Bridegan, Jared's widow, has been very vocal about her desire to visit the children. She has been on record expressing her deep anguish over being denied access to Abby and Liam, lamenting to reporters, "We are their family. We love them. Despite my constant requests to see or speak to them, I have been denied and continuously ignored." Notably, Jared's parents, Gaylord and Joanna Bridegan, have also expressed their desire to be with their grandchildren. Commenting on the glaring inconsistencies in the petition, that same expert noted this is a highly publicized case where the widow and paternal grandparents are out there saying they want to see the kids. I can't even justify why they would make that false statement. Further deepening the suspicion, the Gardners left out mentioning the twins' substantial trust accounts. When asked to list the children's assets in the petition, Shelley Gardner, owner of the successful papercraft company, Stampin' Up! This has an exclamation point, so I felt like I had to say it that way.
I've ordered from there, so
not anymore.
Yeah, right.
I would boycott it. It has been the familial pillar for the Gardner-Fernandez for the majority of her adult life. The Gardners recently severed more ties in Florida, selling their oceanfront Jacksonville Beach property for about $3.65 million. So there's a lot. They got money. They got attorneys. I have no idea how financially well or not Jared's parents are to fight things like this, because they could just throw this into litigation forever if they really wanted to, and have the kids. I mean, all one can hope is that the children are just being cared for, and it's not going to be used as some sort of a pawn or tactic, and they just understand what is going on in life. I don't know how one squares up, dad's dead and mom's accused of it, and so is stepdad over here. Then you're with grandma and grandpa who say, oh, no, none of that's true, even though everything is there. Granted, they're only 11 right now, but I think a time will come where if the Gardners don't get their shit together and act like responsible grandparents, and yes, let the other side see their grandchildren and let stepmom see the kids as well that she cares about and loves, it will bite them in the ass severely.
Absolutely. And, these kids being 11, they're not totally up on the legal system, but they know some shit's gone down. They are well aware of where their family stands right now. And they're going to start forming opinions. They're going to find out about this. I'm sure anything that has their name, their last name in it, they're seeing online. The story is everywhere. So they're going to see that their grandparents are up to some strange things. So kids are smart.
Well, I think it's fun. I mean, I have an 11-year-old, and if there's one thing 11-year-olds is curious. And they ask a lot of questions, and they have access, and they know how to look into things. They're not playing in a sandbox or with Barbies. Maybe some are,
right?
But a lot of them pretty up. I mean, the mentality, I think, of an 11-year-old now, I guess it's very individual, but I would say as a whole, they grow up faster these days than you or I did at 11. And they have access to more information than we did at 11. In turn, they get smarter quicker because there's more to consume. And it's also far more confusing at the same point as well, especially when you have something like this going on. But these are kids who are, I'm sure, fairly well aware of what's going on, probably do have opinions. They are human beings, and are, very much being stuck there. And what's scary is, what are they being told? What is real? What is not? Not like you want to sit there and go, yeah, mommy really did kill daddy. But at the same point, I don't think it's necessarily healthy to be sitting there going, oh, mommy could never do that. She never would have done that.
Right.
That needs to be handled in a different way.
I don't think they know.
It's convict, innocent until proven guilty. But I mean, for the love of God, this is so open and shut. It really is. I don't really see any other way this is going to go, other than maybe Shanna will get away with saying, I didn't realize that that's been her argument the whole time, but I don't think that that's going to stand up. And I'm about 99.9% sure she will probably be locked away for the rest of, at the very least, their childhoods, and possibly, the rest of her life.
Ugh,
if convicted.
Just tragic.
And that's going to be the trauma of it. They've already went through the one trauma, and how those grandparents handle all of this could create another trauma. It all depends
easily
how it's handled. So I certainly hope for the best for those kids. It's just so sickening when these things already have the horrific thing playing out over here. And then over on the side, people make messes far messier than they really need to be.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.